Good morning, internet. I feel in a funk again today. I felt a bit better last night. My van got nicked. You know, I rent cars out on tour. My van got nicked and then found and then rented out again and then taken by the police because it had a stolen marker on it. Just saying to the guy then, I just don't want to have to deal with stuff. I'm gonna have to trim down on stuff, taking on too much stuff. It's just. Do you know what the thing is as well? I said to my partner then, I said, look, as soon as the divorce is finalised, I'm going to have to start dating again because, firstly, I'm just very, very lonely. Like I even said to her yesterday, I said, oh, I feel a bit vulnerable, but I was just wondering if you could play a game of Monopoly with me because I've got no one to play with. It's just sad, that, isn't it? But, yeah, just on my own a lot, which is good and also choiceful. I'd rather be alone than be around narcissistic, abusive people. That's a choice, I guess. But at the same time, like, is it? Is it a choice? It's like what I was saying yesterday. Like, is it a choice? Is it a choice for me to not say anything about what's going on in the world and leave and potentially not have my son in the best possible place? Like, how can I look myself in the mirror and like knowingly allow things to happen when I know that there's lots of children that are being hurt by the media and the people that control the media for their own agenda? It's not about being liberal. It's not about being homosexual or whatever your orientation is on anything. It's not about that. It's about that people aren't making their own minds up about things. They're parroting and they're regurgitating and they're believing everything they see on the TV because the society is a reflection of the media. The media is not a reflection of society. It's the other way around and it's orchestrated. So how can I look myself in the mirror when I know that kids are being hurt and my kid's gonna get twisted by it? Nope. But I just feel I'm just. Do you know what it is? I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've got so much stuff, so much ambition, and I don't have the, I don't feel like I've got the foundations to do it, and I've tried so hard to get those foundations. Like the work that I've done, no one has seen it apart from God, and I don't have the opportunity to be able to do it. So that's why I'm like, I'm gonna have to trim down on stuff. I'm gonna have to stop doing the car rental thing. It's just causing too much headache. Just get rid of some of the cars I've got. Just sell stuff off and just, I don't know, try and get fit. Focus on that, I guess. But then I've got to think about money. And you know what it is? Like, I can't, I keep taking my kid to KFC and he has like the popcorn chicken and he enjoys it and the chips and that, and it's like a thing and it's cool, whatever. But like, I have to feed him good food. Like, that's not, it's like what I was saying about the dogs last night. I have to do it. And right now, I'm struggling to do it. To So I said to her, like, I said, go back and watch at the beginning. I said to my partner, I'm like, if this divorce goes through, or as soon as it goes through, I'm gonna have to start looking for a partner. Partner, it's like life partner, isn't it? Like the problem with that is though that when you start going on dating sites and all that, because I'm sure I don't seem to get very good take up on it, but when you go, it's so contrived on those things though, because you go on it and everyone's looking for a partner. Not everyone's looking for, so like it's not organic. So like you're being judged immediately on what you can offer rather than who you are and what your character is. I don't think that sets a good precedent for the motives of what said person might be looking for. But if I don't I very rarely leave the house. The only people I speak to are builders or mechanics. And I know I'm that guy now. Fucking hell, he likes a chat. I spoke to the door guy yesterday and getting a porch done and getting a door put on the front, and it's like chewing his ear off. It was a good. I had a good chat with him, but like same time, I know I'm the guy because like as soon as like someone talks to me about something I'm interested in, I'm just like, I used to live next to an old guy, and you used to feel like you get collared by him. You can't get out of the conversation. I'm that guy. I've been mourning a little bit my old life as well, like talking about Ibiza and stuff last night, and I was just thinking like I was so misguided, but at the same time I had so many people around me, like playboy, but like I was having, at least I thought I was having fun. I've been so like head down on development and introspection and laying foundations and being a good person. I've been to one social thing in like 3 years. Went to watch the boxing in London, Newbank Ben. Other than that, apart from my mate's funeral, I haven't done anything social. I'm trying to think if I missed anything else. No, even before I found out about my abuse, I was like head down on. I think I went to Amir Khan Kelbrook. I don't even know what year that was in. And then everyone was drunk and annoying, and I was just like, this shit. You go looking for answers and like start finding them, but then it alienates you even more. I feel very alienated. I don't fit in anywhere. Never have really. I don't fit in anywhere yet. I can talk to anyone. I can level with anyone, but I don't really fit in anywhere. Never fitted in at never fit in at private school. Never fit in Warrington. I just don't. I never had that. I never had a tribe. Never fit in at home. Never fit in Manchester. Never fit in at uni. Never fit. I just never fit in anywhere. I look at people as well. Like I drove past a guy before, and he was riding his bicycle, and he had that thing where, like the little trailer at the back where you put the kid in, and it's got like a waterproof thing, and they sit in the back, and the kid wasn't in it, but obviously he'd been dropping them off at school, and I just look at like it's so simple. Just like every time I drive past someone that's riding a bike somewhere, like they're probably hating the fact that they have to ride a bike somewhere, and I'm looking at them with so much envy, like. Just having a simple life like that, like you've no idea how lucky you are. Everyone thinks that money solves all your problems. It doesn't. It doesn't. Everyone's got problems. Money creates problems. Got a nice house, but I'm a target. I'm having to put a porch on for extra security. Like and everyone that doesn't have it wants it. The majority of people that don't have it want it because they think that an Armani t-shirt or a Range Rover or whatever is gonna make them feel good. Yeah, it will short term, but you'll never ever find fulfillment in it. Like the footballers, you say money can't buy style, can it? Like we live in this like. I'm trying to hide the bags under my eyes. I'm fucking exhausted. I really want to get back to playing football. I saw Scott Parker yesterday. That was cool. He was a really good centre mid. It's really inspired me to play again. But like there's so many things, and that's why I said to my partner, like, I'm just on my own all the time to sort out, and I'm so ambitious that I've got to figure out like businesses. I've got to figure out baby. I've got to figure out dogs. And the dogs need exercise. And these are voluntary things that I've taken on, and I love them, and I cannot get rid of them. But you know, it wouldn't go amiss if my, you know, in like a normal family, you do have like parents that are like, oh, don't worry, we'll have the dogs one day, or like, don't worry, we'll look after the baby, or do you need anything picking up from the shop? So like, I know I'm whinging, but like, I got framed by mine. My mum hates me. My own mum hates me. Like, hates me. Causes me pain on purpose. My own mum. I was thinking to myself, I got quite upset earlier. I was thinking to myself, like, I just want. I think I'm just. Everyone's got that inner child inside them, and I think I just want my mum to love me. I just want my dad to love me, and like they don't, and they don't. I think my dad does, only as far as his own ego will take him. My mum like fucking hates me. I feel hated by my family, and all I want to do is. And like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, how could you hurt your own child of any age? It's been my whole life, and got way worse now I've got older. And now I've got a kid. I'm like, I don't understand how people that are parents can't prioritize their children. I don't get it. Don't you? Don't like you've got a responsibility that's clearly should be more important than yourself, but yet isn't. And some people just shouldn't have children. Some people should not have children. You want to cure the population problem, like be really open and honest with people and be like, well, unless you've got your shit together, unless you're gonna raise this kid properly, you shouldn't have kids. And it's not even like, you know, in China don't they have like 2 kid rule? But genuinely, not everybody should have them because you're just gonna create problems, problem people. And capitalism, the have not thing, that really drives the thievery, and it drives the wanting of material things. And everybody wants more material things, and like brands define who you are as a person, and they don't. They don't. People think that they do because that's what it says on the telly, but they don't. Brands don't define you. Your possessions don't define you. Your character defines you. And that's kind of it. The premium market is driven by the middle class. That is that not enough to like people want to look like they've got money when they don't because it gives them some sort of social clout. But people that have got money talks, wealth whispers. I'm not that wadded. My old man is. I had Moroccan gangsters scoping out the house. My parents got a house in Spain. Moroccan gangsters scoping out the house while we were living in it. And I had to like confront them, but I had to be clever about it because I didn't want to exacerbate the situation. I clocked that they were doing it. They were waiting outside the bottom of the drive. They were like checking out the house, and I thought, alright, this is weird. I need to. They were waiting at the bottom of the drive. I was like, right, I need to go the other way because in hindsight, I could see that they were trying to see if my staffy was aggressive. It actually would have been beneficial to go the other way because then my staffy would have kicked off because he doesn't like big dogs. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to stay out of this. And then I heard them whistling, they were trying to see if the dogs were aggressive. I heard them whistling around the back of the house. It was like a fence onto the main road or whatever. I heard them whistling, and then when I realised that's what they were doing, I heard them whistling because I clocked this over a number of days, and then when I realised that's what they were doing, I was like, oh shit, we're being scoped out here. I jumped in the car, I ragged it down the drive, I ragged it all the way around to where they were, and I confronted them. But I didn't want to say like, "What the fuck are you doing?" because it would just exacerbate the situation. So I asked them. I think I shared this on it before. I said like, "Are you looking?" Estás buscando por un pastor alemán? Like, are you looking for a German Shepherd? And I went, no, 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 why? And I was like, oh, there was one here before. And it was like, it was awkward and weird. But then they kind of knew. I told them that I knew what they were doing without telling them that I knew what they were doing. And I'm not very good at that. And it just sort of happened in the moment. I had to think of a clever way to say like, stop, I know what you're doing. And then because I saw the faces, and then when I drove past them, I pointed at them. Danielle said, oh, you shouldn't point at them, it's rude. But then I was like, they know that I know, like, and it was like a unsaid thing. And I'm not very good at that. I'm very matter of fact, so. But again, it's one of those things that just happened in the moment. Yeah, like, I dissociated in the moment, and I can just, like the thing with saving that guy's life in Ibiza, I just, like, dissociate and just it's almost like God takes over, like, my body's just taken over by spirit, and I just do what needs to be done. Yeah, and then the staffy chased them out off the fence actually, and the fence was all bent. And I said to my parents, like, we're being scoped out. They were trying to get into the garden. They're like, oh no, it's fine. So what? Just get a better fence. No, no, it's fine. They just don't believe a fucking word I say. Mental. Weirdos, my parents. It's sad though. They're sad. I miss out on having a family. They miss out on having a son because they want to act. They want to be able to act abusively and no one say anything about it. My sister just has learned to just be like them because it's easier. Whereas I'm just like, that's not right. I think that's like the element of like a little bit of autistic, like spectrum. That's where I've got like, I'm just like, that's not right. Don't do that. That's immoral. Don't do that. Because they always taught me from a kid, always be honest. I used to get in trouble. I used to, messing around. Someone would get in trouble at school and it would be my fault. I go, oh, sorry, it was my fault. Don't know. They always told me to be honest. I remember in primary school, the first time I ever did it, I broke some kid's pen, and the teacher goes to me, "Oh, was it you that broke the pen?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh, that's really good of you being honest like that." I don't know. It just always stuck. I just always did it. I'm just never not honest. And the funny thing is, they're very, very dishonest, and they don't. I just inherited it, and maybe that means that I was raised well, but at the same time, I was fucking neglected. That's the thing. I heard Jordan Peterson talking about that. With kids, you can teach them stuff and tell them stuff, and when they're growing up, but then when they realize that you don't do it as well, it's like a thing, and it like trust is gone and all that. And then they probably don't do it as a result. I don't know. I've just been so honest for so long. I also now see that dishonesty is actually dishonesty is the manifestation of insecurity. Because if you can't get what you want by being honest, you have to get it by being dishonest. Which means that you can't get what you want without having to resort to being immoral, basically. Or just figure out a way to get it without being immoral. They always say nice guys finish last, don't they? I remember that. I remember trying to get with a girl in uni times, and the feedback was I was too nice. And I hurt my feelings that, which is probably by definition being too nice, I guess. But I don't think I am. I'm very moral, very friendly. But I'm not scared to break eggs to make an omelette. Like, I know there's guys that I know that are virgins still. They're too nice. Like, but then at the end of the day, like, those really, really nice guys that are not going to treat you badly, women, you don't want to get with them. Well, young ones maybe don't. I think as some women get older, they kind of see the truth that like you actually do want to be with a nice guy. But then there's that whole element as well of like narcissistic women that get with nice guys to control them and get them to do what they want. There's so many men in the middle class that are nice and have narcissistic partners that just basically control them and get them to do what they want. And then they also can have the ability to twist their opinions on stuff. That's mad. That's mad. I've fallen foul to that. Well, in a personal sense, I had a couple of really abusive partners, but and now being able to see it, I had my best mate. Yeah, his missus. We were so close, right? We were like absolutely brothers. We used to call each other soulmates. We were literally like, it was a very beautiful element of codependency, right? Because codependency is looked at in a negative sense, but it's actually you're just filling blocks where gaps are missing, and it actually can be very beautiful. And that's what me and my mate had. Because we were so close, he then got a girlfriend who didn't like that. She got very attention seeking. She was very like me actually, but a woman, female, and yeah, she took it upon herself to over time create narrative about me for many years. And then I was supposed to be best man at the wedding. I ended up not doing it because our relationship between me and him got so fraught that it was just unsustainable. And that element of like middle class nice dudes being manipulated by narcissistic women, that's heavy. And they're just kind of yes sir, no sir, but they're also gaslighting. Gaslighting is a way more prevalent thing than I ever realized that it was. You know, if you're someone that doesn't do it and you're naive to it, you're a potential victim of it. I just don't understand. Like, just fucking chill. Just chill. Like, people have so much unresolved shit from when they're children. Like, you grow up and you think that just because you've gone from having a small body into a big body, that all the problems that you had when you were in a little body are not affecting you. But like I said yesterday, like they literally make you who they are and hold you back. They hold you back from being fulfilled. They hold you back from being happy. But then I suppose then it goes to like another side of like codependency where like, so for example, if you're a girl who didn't have attention from the parents or father's a big one for girls, and then you go into a relationship where you're incredibly attention seeking and you seek to fulfill those things in your life with your actions. It's like if you went to in that situation, if the person went to therapy and was like, oh, actually, I don't need to get loads of attention because the reason why I'm getting attention is external validation. The reason why I want external validation is because I didn't get enough attention as a kid, and actually that made me feel like I wasn't lovable and there was something wrong with me. But at the end of the day, I'm whole. I'm part of God. I'm part of the universe. I already have everything to make me feel whole and happy, and I don't need to go looking for it elsewhere. And then it's like, oh, right, well, maybe I don't need to be addicted to people then. Just get what I want because I've already got everything I want inside. There's so many people with like it's really isolating having done so much work on myself. Like you would not fucking believe. I don't like swearing as much. I'm swearing a bit more of late, but you would not. No one had, apart from God, has any understanding of how much work I've done on myself. I'm sure people can see it actually from the outside, but like honestly, because I blame myself. When I got kicked out of school, the first thing my dad said to me was, "You let everyone down." And it was nothing like, oh, I've been thrown under the bus. It was nothing like, no, it was all Adam's fault. You got kicked out of school because you did this. And like, yeah, I did. I was also a minor. I was also having a lot of troubles. I was also pained. And I didn't have any support or love. So like, at the end of the day, well, I made mistakes and I held my hands up to them. Like, is it fair then to, first thing you say, to blame it on the kid? Because I just believed him. That changed my life, that moment, because I was in a private school and I'd been getting in trouble loads over the years, just acting out, attention seeking, because I wasn't getting enough attention at home. And I was good at attention seeking. I was very good at attention seeking. And I was on report and all that all the time. And I ended up in that year 9, I ended up getting to the point where I was like, it was year 10. And I was like, I'm actually enjoying being on report. Like I'm getting my head down here. They made me games captain. I was going to be captain of the rugby team. They were going to put year 10, year 11 together. I was going to be the captain. They could see that I was taking stuff seriously. I had a girlfriend, like, and I was really turning it around. And I could feel it. I was getting confident, but not confidence from arrogance or cockiness, which I had a lot of. It was more like I could feel that everything was settling, and I could feel that I was going places. And then when they said that about the rugby team, I was like, this is so cool. Like, I'm doing it. I'm gonna be a superstar. I'm gonna be a professional rugby player without a shadow of a doubt. And they told me, yeah, that I don't think I've ever been that happy. And they said, and because like you have to understand, like, to go from being like the class clown and absolutely hated, which don't get me wrong, the majority of them did still hate me, but to win those people around to the level of, we're going to give you this level of responsibility because we know that you're not going to fuck it up, or we think that there's a large possibility now that you won't fuck it up because you're taking this games captain stuff seriously. Like, they got me in a position where they got me focused on stuff that meant something to me. Like, that's another thing about school. Like, you can't try and get boys to sit down and do shit that they don't want to do because you're just making drones. That's probably what the point of school is, but like, you have to find a way. Good teachers will find a way to focus problem kids. And they had, because they made me sports captain, and I was just like, I was enjoying being on report. I was stopping getting into trouble. And then they were gonna make me the captain. Oh yeah, no, I was in I was playing with the sixth formers. I was 14, and they never had put year 10s in with the sixth formers before, and it was me and two others, and we got put in with him, and I was like, this is so fucking cool. And then like 3 weeks later it was done. Yeah, and they all just collated loads of fucking evidence against me and twisted the new headmaster, and yeah, man, changed the course of my life forever. Because I had recurring dreams about going back to that school. I had recurring dream like every week, every other day for 15 years. It was so mad. I've spoken about this before, and I'd wake up and I'd say to my partner, "So guess what I dreamt about last night?" And it was like a thing, because I would just dream about it every night, basically every other night. I'd go back to the sixth form. I would walk around the science lab. I'd tell some of the teachers that were really mean to me what I really thought, and then I would be let back in for sixth form, and then I would leave again for some reason, or like off my own accord or whatever. I can't remember now. But like, I had that dream so much, and I was planning on going. Like, I remember having a conversation with a form teacher of mine, saying like, talking about going to American University, and I was like, I said to him, like, I'll walk onto that rugby team. Like, that's how much I knew how good I was at rugby, and coming from someone with absolutely zero, basically, self-esteem, knowing that, like, having that held so tightly, I was like, I will 100% walk onto any rugby team. And rugby wasn't that big back then in the States. I was like, there's absolutely no. It's like it's happening. And then yeah, not long after, like, it was over, and that's when I started smoking weed. That year, that's so that after just before I got kicked out, that's when weed started being introduced, but it was very sporadically. It was at parties and things like that. I couldn't roll, all that kind of stuff. And then I got kicked out of school. My friend died, and then that summer you have after GCSEs, you have like a long summer. That's when I started smoking weed every day. And the thing with smoking weed is it opens you up. You opens your mind spiritually. That's why they say that young men or young people shouldn't smoke cannabis when they're younger, because it makes them psychotic. But it's just a misunderstanding. So when you smoke something like that, when it's psychoactive, you are unlocking higher timelines. You're unlocking spiritually. You're unlocking your consciousness, your conscious understanding of what's going on. And when you smoke things like cannabis, or you take something that's psychoactive, you get access to other realms, other levels of consciousness. and you have to be able to understand it. But you can't, if you don't understand yourself and you're not settled, then when you do that, it's like, because I was doing it so much, my spiritual awakening was like, "Ba-damn, have that," and it was like, "Whoa, this is a lot." Now looking back, I can understand it a bit better, but like, yeah, that I started smoking weed after I got kicked out of school, and then my friends died, and I was just like, and obviously I didn't know at that point that I'd been abused, so that was all locked away. I wasn't getting any attention at home, and after that, I was just like vilified even more. Public enemy number one. Yeah, I always felt like that. I've always felt public enemy number one everywhere I've gone. Because I went to school in Warrington, then I left for a posh school, so all those people then hated me. Like, I used to play sport against them regularly, and I was like, they all hated me where I lived, and I'd all see them out. They all fucking hated me. So I was hated. I was hated by the teachers at school. I was hated by the people where I lived. I was hated by my mum. I was just. It's just been. It's just been that my whole life, really. Just feeling hated everywhere I've gone, and because I'm like a dog, like in the sense of like, I can offer unconditional love. I just can, and I don't want to hurt anybody. Don't need to. Just crack on. No one needs to. Yeah, that's sad. The first time I was very close to my sister growing up, obviously because our parents didn't really have much to do with us, and that made us very close. But then like life happened, and then getting my dog, my first dog, Biggie the Staffy, getting him, that was the first time I ever felt unconditional love. And I was like 20, I was 30. For the first time I've ever felt love before. That's sad, that, isn't it? And now I'm sat in a car saying, "Oh, you should be nice to people." I'm sat in a car with no one around me, just on my own. It is by choice, but like, would you rather be in with a group of narcissistic abusers, or would you rather set clear boundaries and be on your own all the time? I have to choose being on my own all the time because I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't play that game. I'm not gonna play the game of if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not doing it. I hold my morals too tightly. I'm gonna get wet now as well. Yeah, feeling pretty sad. Fortunately, I do have enough cash to not have to worry about that side of things, but and I can figure out passive income streams to put my money into entrepreneurially that are gonna enable me to not have to worry about that. Like I said, if I had to worry, I wouldn't be here. If I had money worries on top, in terms of like not having any, I'd be fucked. But at the same time, like, I've got money worries about making someone trying to come and take it. It's a mad world, this. Yeah, material possessions don't define you. Don't even make life better. I'm driving around in a Toyota 2010 Toyota RAV4. I've got another 2000 Toyota 10 RAV4 off the road at the moment, and I've got a 2009 Suzuki S4, SX4, which is going to be sold. But do you know how I learnt that? By fucking buying Range Rovers and buying Mercedes and realizing that this is not what it's got out to be. This is not making me happy. It can't. It can't make you happy. Unless it's like the car that you've always wanted, that you then graft and get. That'll make you happy. If it's like the car you've always wanted because you've always wanted it for a kid, that'll make you happy getting that car. But just like driving around a Lamborghini, imagine how many footballers you think are actually like struggling with depression and stuff. But they can't speak out about it. Dominic Calvert-Lewin spoke out about it, didn't he? About how he's like crying on his bedroom floor and stuff. And like, you kind of just look at it. Even me, I was looking at it like, is he for real? But like, you can't walk in someone else's shoes. Couldn't even fucking lace mine up. There's a book called True North, and it's from the Harvard MBA Business School reading list, and it talks about how all successful people go through shit, and it's really what it's really talking about is post-traumatic growth, and that post-traumatic growth then enables people to be incredibly successful. Please God, I actually get an opportunity to do something. Please God. I hold my morals so tightly. Like the first thing I have to do is be a good dad and take care of my responsibilities myself. And then and only then can I start to then build anything else. But nothing matters. That's the thing, nothing matters unless you've got foundations, unless you've got a family and a dog and someone to share it with. Like the hierarchy of needs, unless you've got that, nothing else matters. Because really, if you're single and you're going chasing carrots and looking for external validation through whatever pursuit you're going after, you're going to get there and you're going to be like, oh shit, that didn't make me that happy. Let's go to Johnny Wilkinson talk or Tyson Fury talk. They spend their whole lives chasing this thing and then they get it and it's like they feel flat and then they get depressed and stuff. Because that actually isn't what the meaning of life is. The meaning of life is love and passion. Going and foundations. But you can't enjoy, it seems to me, you cannot enjoy anything in life without having someone to enjoy it with and responsibility and foundations and love and family. And then after that, after you've taken care of all of that, then you put yourself in a position to go for internal validation by chasing something that means something to you, that you enjoy. And then it's about enjoying the journey. That's why, like, if you wanted to be like a boxer or whatever, if you're going to the boxing gym every day and loving it, and then you become a champion, that'll be fulfilling. But if you're chasing it because you want to be the boxing champion, you'll never be fulfilled. Because the external validation can't fulfill you. It has to come from inside. And you have to have foundations and love and someone to share it with. Because otherwise it's just like ego driven. Excuse me, what cold. Ego driven. Yep. So I look at Cristiano Ronaldo and I just think, I kind of feel a bit sad for him. I don't know. Being judgmental, I shouldn't do that. But like, I would suggest quite strongly that it's narcissist. I would suggest quite possibly he's sociopath. He moves around a lot. I would suggest that, given I could be wrong and perhaps being judgmental, but I would suggest that given the nature of his wife and what she does, perhaps, and you know, my experience of having parents like that, maybe that she's narcissistic as well. So they're just like going after ego driven. I don't know, maybe they're a really loving family. Like, I obviously don't know that, but this is like hyperbole or whatever, conjecture of like looking back at my past and like extrapolating and like projecting it out. But like, if you've got two parents that care about themselves and what they want is most important, they're not fulfilled. those two people are not fulfilled. There's not a loving, centered love for family of love. So nothing. It's just misguided. And they spend their whole lives chasing it to get to the carrot at the end of the stick or whatever. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow to be like, oh shit, is that it? I wish I'd been a park ranger. Because, like, really, the only thing that we have that's of any value, true value, is time. And time is a construct anyway, but, like, we seem to have a finite amount of time here, which perhaps is the biggest lie the devil ever told. Maybe if we believed that we didn't have to die, we didn't have to die. And that's going well too deep. But, like, the main thing that we have is time. So if you're chasing after something because you want to be rich and famous, and you spend your time to get to that point, and then you get there and you realize that you're unfulfilled because this shit isn't the Lamborghini and the success and all that isn't actually making you happy. And then you're like, oh shit, well maybe if I just did the thing that I love all day, maybe if I love being a plumber, maybe if I love being a park ranger, maybe the plumber is probably a bad example, but some people must love plumbing, or like be a jazz drummer, or do the thing that inside gets you, be like a competitive lightsaber fighter. Stuff like that. I know those people come, the police, the fucking, what they call, poster people are here, and now it's kind of brought me back down to earth. I was quite settled in my own little bubble then, and now I'm realising that I am still in this social world with other people in it. And I feel a little bit vulnerable, maybe the wrong word, maybe more like I don't know. YouTube as a therapist. That's another thing, like therapists. Very, 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 very useful, very, 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 very good if you get a good one. You just need to have someone that's on a higher understanding of things that you are. I think that's the thing. You need to have a therapist that gets and implements more stuff than you do. But I had a PhD. She was incredibly highly qualified, and I was with her for like 5 years. And then I got to a point where I was realising that I was implementing things that she was teaching me that she wasn't implementing herself, and I was just like, there's no point being here. But then I'm like, all right, I've got all these really, really useful tools, these fantastic tools, and I've learned what my drivers are, and I understand people, I understand like life way better. And then on top, you have my own spiritual journey and everything else, my ownership coach, my life coaching journey, and stuff like that. And then it's like, now what the fuck do I do? There's no one that. There's no one. It feels like there's absolutely no one that can impart on me any advice that's going to help. It's like it's all just got to come from me. I've just done so much work. That's why I feel so isolated. Can't even get a bloody therapist. I'll end up knowing. I don't mean to sound big-headed, but I'll end up knowing more than them. I already know more than them. Obviously, it's an overstated overview, or whatever. But like, that's how I feel. So it's like, I can't even talk to a fucking therapist. That's why I have to sit in my car and talk to myself. God, the bloody computer screen. And that's another thing. That's why I find social interaction so difficult. Because because I'm an empath, I pick up on little emotional social cues. And like, I'll know what you're thinking. And I'll know if you're being a dick. And I'll know, it's just like, and I'm just like, oh, you are tiresome. That's how I feel about people. I find them tiresome. But then I love them at the same time. I love engaging nice people. I really, really love them. I love conversing with people that are nice. It's just great. Just having a little bit of a joke, a little bit of a laugh, conversing, like. talking deep about stuff. But it's like even just. And this goes back to what I was saying about. I had a friend who's really into philosophy, and it's like it dawned on me eventually that he was into philosophy because he wanted to look like he was into philosophy. And then it's like, there's so many levels that I'm operating at, and it's just like, people are too much. Getting close to people is too much. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, but I need to find a partner because I can't do all this shit. Like life, you're supposed to share it. You're supposed to have foundations and love and support. And also, I can't do all this shit on my own. So then it's like, all right, got to find a partner. Good fucking luck with that. I'm swearing too much. I'm definitely not going to let my kid do sleepovers till he's much older. Or not go on like cub camps and stuff. That's what happened to me at cub camp. So parents, be careful about camps. FYI. It was a cub camp. Possibly two. I think the first one I never actually got to the point where I got hurt, but I remember being woken up in the bed. I remember being in an office. I remember someone coming into that. I remember like being stood behind someone like, "You okay?" So I think I got taken into an office by a guy. Closed the office door. I can remember like the panels of wood or whatever in like the old school building, and then I think someone came in and stopped it before anything bad happened. I think maybe there was some other stuff that I don't want to share on here, but so maybe it wasn't as bad as the second one. The second one was like not good, and that was at a cub camp. So be careful, parents, about sending your kids to camps. Yeah, that's real. And that's also why I feel so passionately about telling the truth about the people that have mocked the death of Charlie Kirk. I don't really care. Charlie Kirk's death didn't bother me. I'm very, very sad for his children. Very. Because I've just got this thing about protecting kids. Now I've got one, and I wasn't protected as a kid. And I know what happens when you're not. I know the consequences of not protecting a child, and I've felt it, and I still feel it to this day. I was not that bothered about Charlie. I wasn't like a Charlie Kirk fan. I watched a couple. When they come up on your feed, I'd watch it. I think, oh, it's an eloquent dude. He's making a good point. He's pissing those people off, but it's pretty easy for him. Scrolling or whatever, and I think, I don't think I even used to like the videos. Like, actually physically like it, like the Harris like button. I just like, yeah, he's alright. I couldn't be bothered to deal with that. That's what I would think. I think, oh, he's very eloquent, but I could not be bothered to deal with that. Because you just get a headache, don't you? I was like, I couldn't be bothered. I never really had an emotional connection to him of any sort. It's just when I saw those people mocking it, and I was like, because of the kids, I was just like, it triggered me. Triggered that protective lion, like I felt like the alpha lion, like if no one's gonna protect these kids and my kid, I am gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna let you mock. Because then when they started mocking the death of him, that's when I was like, fuck this. I know, I need to stop swearing. When they saw they were mocking the death of him, at that point I was like, I'd had enough. I was like, hard, firm, no, no more. Like hate him, like whatever, it's fine. It's opinion, subjective. Kill him, very, very not okay. Like, but I wouldn't have said anything. I thought, oh, that's terrible, but then just left it. But then dance and mock and sing, too far. Especially when they're all brainwashed. If you are a fan of Charlie Kirk, if you are a fan of celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, you have to understand you have dehumanized a human being, a father of two. You have dehumanized that person so much that not only are you okay with their death, you are celebrating said death, which means that you are mentally unstable and you need to seek professional help. It's not necessarily your fault. It's come from the top. It's filtered through the media on purpose to create this frenzy. But you are mentally unstable. Where's the camera? You cannot ever dehumanize a person to the point of celebrating their death and be mentally stable. And because I can see that this is filtered down through the people that control the system and through the media and causing a frenzy, that's when I was just like, I've had a fucking enough of this. I've had enough of this. You can't you can't dehumanize people like that. That's not normal thinking. That's not okay behavior. That's like so not okay behavior that you are mentally unstable. But they have been manipulated. So try and give them empathy. I feel a bit pity for them. I feel bad for them. But yeah, like you are genuinely, if you celebrate, if you've dehumanized a human being so much, you know the Nazi Party did that. That's how the Nazi colonels and stuff would kill the babies, and that would be okay with it because they dehumanized the Jews so much that killing them was a good thing. That's what the Nazis did to the Jews. The dehumanization of people. All Jews are not bad. That is absolutely categorically not the case. Are there rich Jewish families that are causing absolute chaos and ruin? Yeah. Are there other people that do that as well? Yeah. Are there Islamists that do that as well? Yeah. The extremists. It's like extremist Judaism almost in a sense. And that it's bigotry, it's extremism, it's sin, it's the devil type vibes. It's like Lucifer type vibes. It's not the subsect of person that it is. They just happen to be that. And I'm sure there are lots of bad Christians as well. Like, look at what happened in the Catholic Church. But that doesn't mean that Christianity is bad. Doesn't mean that Islam is bad. Doesn't mean that Judaism is bad. Doesn't mean that Jews are bad. Doesn't mean that Muslims are bad. Doesn't mean that Christians and white people are bad. White is also a divisive term. It's just we're just humans with skin, and it's just skin's a little bit different color. Doesn't make, and everything else is just ideologically label driven from cultural values, which are ideological driven and not actually real. They don't actually exist. They only exist because we give it to them, and it's only given to us because it's divisive. I'm not a white man. I'm a human being who has lighter toned skin. And that's it. Like, you talk about like black culture and all this. It's like it's not. It's made up. It's not tangible. It's not a thing. It's only a thing if you give it the thing. It's like the gender war. It's like there is male and there is female, and everything else it does exist, but it exists ideologically. The label doesn't have tangible value. It's not real. It's only ideological. And you can put as much meaning on that ideological label as you want, and you can hold it very, very firmly. But at the end of the day, it is ideological. It isn't tangible. It's not. It's the same with different, like, what you call it, black culture. So like a group of people zoom onto that, and then that defines me. This culture defines me. What I like hip hop music. If I say that, then that probably makes me culturally appropriating. But like, no, it doesn't. I just like that music. I like rapping. Always liked it because Eminem. Whoa, then we're getting into, yeah. Let's not get into the music industry right now. Man, this is nearly an hour. What am I doing? This is so lame and embarrassing. How did life get to this point? Maybe nice guys do finish last in this human existence. But I tell you where they don't. It's after. And I'm never ever gonna break my morals. There's nothing that could ever make me break them, unless I've got complete understanding and evidence of the fact that this is better. Because then it isn't technically breaking my morals. It's changing them, slightly evolving over time. And I'll never do it. I'll never break my morals. I don't care how shit the situation gets. Never, ever, ever, ever. Because that's what I hold. That's me. That's true. That's visceral. That's real. I'll never break them. I'll never break them. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care if nice guys finish last. Maybe they do in this human existence, but they won't after. I guarantee you that God has seen. The only person that's seen everything that I've done has been God. And you want to lie and destroy my life like my mum has? Go ahead. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to bite back immorally. You want to fucking lie and destroy my life, have me arrested? Go ahead. Because the truth always comes out in the end. The police are now on my side. The police know that I've been lied about. The police that know I've been abused. But even the police know that other police have been abusing me. Figure that one out. And they're still on my side now. Because the truth always works in the end. Because there is nothing else. Nothing else means anything. Nothing else matters. That's it. That's the truth. That's the depth. That's the actual tangible. That's like the thing that means something. It's not tangible. But it is inside. That's the thing. That's the driver. That's the only thing that matters. It's like love and depth and truth and meaning and morals. That meaning, that depth, that thing. That's the only thing that means anything. Fuck's sake. Oh, it's an hour video because I've got no one to talk to. This is so embarrassing. I've just got a mountain of shit to sort out because I've got no one to help me with it. Man. Has it come to this? Oh, oh, oh. Original pirate material. You listen to your streets, lock down your aerial. Has it come to this? Oh, oh, oh. Original pirate material. You're listening to the streets. Down, 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 down. Do, 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 do. Sitting in my car and I'm chilling. I'm the hero, not the villain, and I'm winning. It may not look like it, but I'm kicking back on the attack, cause you know I got the rhythm. I got the flavor, you know I got the chicken. I got the bars, yeah, you know I'm gonna win it. I'm like Hussein, but like Usain, winning the race in first place, yeah, and kicking it back. I'm on the attack, I tell you what's what, and then I tell you that's that, cause there ain't nobody better when they're bigging on the mic, when they're hitting in the rhythm and they're hitting in the rhyme. Nobody better the big man. Check this, hit you for 6 if you take the piss. Rick, this like Slick Rick, never gonna take the piss. I'm gonna bing, bing, ding, ding. Nobody better than me, you can see. I am the lyrical G, like me. Has it come to this? Oh, oh, oh. Caffeine's kicked in there from the drinks.